We're debt free. So when you do the We're Debt Free shout, it seems really tidy and nice and victorious and not messy at all. But the process of becoming debt free is very messy and hard and lots of suffering and sacrificing and saying no and doing without. But it's so worth it.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about intentional living and how that we laid the foundation for the life that we wanted in our dollar store notebook.
Yes.
Over the course of a weekend. We wrote down everything that was in our heart, and our dreams and our prayers, and we realized right away that the first step, which was also the last step we completed, one of the last steps, we're still writing.
Yes,
There's more steps,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
was
Money.
to be debt free.
Debt free.
We wanted to have financial freedom,
Yes.
which also gives you time freedom. You can't have time freedom without financial freedom.
No.
So we made a commitment that for 6 months, we wouldn't buy anything extra. We would only spend what we absolutely had to spend to stay alive. With 4 kids. We did have electricity and a roof over our heads. We didn't go camp down by the river in a tent.
No. It was hard. It was very hard. But really looking back on it, it was only hard really because we were changing our mindset and changing our behavior. And that was what was so hard about it. To me, eating, whatever, ramen noodles. I mean, we did figure out that in the town we lived in Virginia at the time, the pizza place had a $5 carryout special on Mondays. And so, we would get the carryout special for sure. And that was kind of our night that we ate out and enjoyed. And the rest of the week we eat dandelions out of the grass, right? Pretty much. And so.
But you can do anything for 6 months.
Yes.
I mean, it was just a short time period, and we just wanted to see how much debt we could pay off in that amount of time, and that was going to be like the kickstart for our big goal. And at the end of the 6 months, I looked at him and I said, "You're taking me out to eat."
and we did just that, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. So.
But it was worth it, and now here we are 11 years later, and we are debt-free, and we do have financial freedom, financial peace, and it was so worth it. I mean, I don't feel like anything's lacking from my life from those decisions we made.
No, I think our life was a lot more complicated then, not just because of the money, but because of the need. We felt like we had a need to have certain things or things like that, and now our lives are much simpler.
They're just more intentional. We are intentional to only include the things that give value, that are worth it.
Yes.
And once we kind of just eliminated everything.
Yeah.
Then when we started bringing things back, we've seen whether they were valuable to us or not.
Yes, absolutely. So what we did in the book was we wrote down the details of our debt. Right, and we wrote down the total amount.
Which is really important if you're in a relationship, if you're married, because you both have to be aware and on the same page.
Yes, absolutely. So we did that. We wrote down each person or group of people or whatever company that we owed money to, credit cards, mortgages, car payments, things we had charged on a credit card. I have no idea what we had bought. We really had nothing to show for the credit card debt we had, which is probably like the majority of people, I'd say. And so we wrote those things down, and we warmed up to our good old Uncle Dave Ramsey, and we began busting it. Gazelle-like intensity, like he says, and we said if we can do this for 6 months, we could change our lives. And I believe that those 6 months absolutely changed our lives forever.
Yeah.
So very, very well worth it, and we would not be where we are now because of it. So what we did was we snowballed those things.
At the end of the 6 months, we had paid off all our credit card debt, my student loan, and a car.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And we didn't make any more money in that 6 months.
We actually probably made less
Yeah.
because it was during the financial crisis that we faced, 2010-ish.
Yes. Well, 2008, 2007, 2008, when the housing bubble happened and all that mess. Yeah, it was hard. And so fast forward now, and here we are, debt-free, enjoying it. And it changes everything when you don't owe anyone money.
Right.
Because as whatever job you're doing, for me as a pastor, I really have done our congregation a favor in the fact that I don't feel like I have to please everybody, in order to keep my job or whatever. But at the same time, that financial freedom has allowed us to pursue other ventures and to create more money by investing in other things. And so that's been a huge, huge blessing for us. And the time freedom, the time freedom is ridiculous, right? That we get to do what we want to do. Yeah. And it's remarkable, the places that we've traveled and places that we've seen and places we've took our children, and that we've not missed their events. We've been at every one of their events, doing everything with them right along the way, and have thoroughly enjoyed being parents and everything we do, right?
Yes, absolutely. So intentional living, the first step is to lay the foundation, to actually write out your vision or your goal. And I can pretty much guarantee that your second step is going to be financial freedom, to be debt-free. And so take a time period. It doesn't have to be 6 months. I wouldn't do more than 6 months though, would you?
No, I think that's...
And just go crazy. Have the TV turned off.
Nuts.
Anything, like call everybody and get everything reduced.
Yeah.
We learned in that process to always call and get with your insurance to get quotes from different companies, and do that pretty regularly. And that's something a practice we still follow. Mm-hmm. But just get everything down to the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And go all in for 6 months. You can do it.
Yeah, 6 months. I think that's a very good time frame that people can really bust it. I mean, think about it. 6 months from now, you're going to blink your eyes, and 6 months is going to be gone.
Absolutely.
So why not tell that 6 months where to go, right?
It's worth it.
So hopefully you guys can do the same as us.
Subscribe, like, share, whatever you feel
Yes, absolutely.
like you want to do.
We have this really cool YouTube channel. You should check it out and subscribe, right?
Yep. And we're going to share another step in intentional living on our next video.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.